Something I've been wanting to talk about is the left-right divide, what actually the left and right distinction means, and some of the ugliness that exists in the public discourse, and that's become apparent or aggravated by the Charlie Kirk assassination. As you're all aware, Charlie Kirk was a conservative Christian commentator, debater, who was recently murdered quite publicly, and it's created a lot. The reactions online have been immense, from people rallying the troops for Christian conservative or just conservative political causes to the left getting upset about the right rallying the troops or even celebrating this murder. And it's been a stark reminder or signal of just how broken politics is right now. And this matters because when we don't respect each other, when we don't listen to each other and debate, then we end up dividing along party lines in ways that benefit elites rather than working class and down and outers. And that's obviously a problem. So you can think what you like about whether there's some cabal of elites that are manipulating things behind the scenes for their benefit and to control us. But the fact is there's social forces at play that do benefit them and do to our detriment. And whether there's some agency behind it or whether it's just blind social forces is in a way irrelevant. The fact is that it's happening, and we should be aware of these forces and do something to lessen, to mitigate them. So how elites benefit from us being divided is they can get us, or we could be, upset over issues that don't worry them. So the things that do worry them, the people that have political power, money, influence, they benefit from the current power structures remaining as they are, from the banking system, corporate power and whatnot remaining the way they are. Whereas working class people, like inflation, the banking system creates inflation, and inflation is a tax on future young people and on working class people. It drives wages down, and the tax pays off debt by inflating it away, and it raises asset prices. So people who already own assets, such as property, get richer over time through inflation. They manage to sell a story to the general public. And again, I don't care whether you think there's some cabal of people doing it or not. It's irrelevant. The fact is, it's happening, and there's people who benefit from it, and it could be blind social forces or it could be deliberate. Doesn't matter. But we've been sold a story of ever-increasing house prices being a good thing. And but the correct way to think of house prices going up is that it's like heroin going into the system. As long as the level of heroin in the system is increasing, everything feels good. And as soon as the heroin starts to get taken away, things crash. It's not a healthy economy. There's nothing healthy about it. You can't grow economic development by selling houses to one another at ever-increasing prices. And there's a limited amount of runway to that kind of growth, because the more houses become affordable, the less people can afford them. And eventually it's got to either crash or no one's going to be able to afford a house. So that's just one example. That's kind of a side point of how we get worried about the wrong things. Here we are busy arguing about gun laws and abortion laws and so on. And I'm not saying those debates don't matter. I'm just saying if that's all we talk about and we don't talk about these other issues, we're limited and what kind of change we can affect and how good we can make society. So where was I? The elites benefiting from us being divided. So we get this delusion. We're deluded into thinking that, say whether we identify left or right, there'll be a group of elites that we see as on our team. So there's people who think Trump's on their team, there's people who think Joe Biden was on their team, there's people who think Elon Musk is on their team or was on their team, and regardless of whether, there could be elites that have our best interests at our heart. That's kind of beside the point. But the fact is, these people live in a completely different world from us. So whether or not they just happen to be good people who care, that could be the case, but the incentives that these people have are not the same incentives that we have. So for them to be on our team, they have to have an immense amount of empathy and goodwill, which they may not have. Whereas the people that we're pitted against or pitting ourselves against in these left-right debates, they actually share the same interests as we do. They actually benefit and suffer from the same things we do. So regardless of what we agree or disagree with them about politically or socially or theologically, the fact is we all are in the same boat and benefit and suffer from the same things. So seeing these people as our enemies is extremely counterproductive, especially when we're seeing people as being on our team who don't share, they're just not in the same boat as us, so they don't benefit or suffer from the same things that we do. They live in a world of luxury where there's different kinds of incentive structures that shape their behavior, and not everyone's a product of the incentive structure around them, but by and large people are, and especially at the extremes they are. Like when it comes to protecting your wealth and your family, people will generally just act in accordance with the incentive structures that's around them and do what they need to save their family and their wealth and their power. So this is something we need to be aware of, that this division between the left and the right is extremely counterproductive for the well-being of working class people and people at the bottom of society. How long is this video getting? What are we at? We're at 7 minutes. That's probably enough for one video. I'll probably make other videos talking about what I think the left and right divide and distinction really is, and what the value is in those debates and the different perspectives they each bring. But yeah, I'm Alex Gallagher, based in New Zealand, and yeah, this is my channel where I talk about basically politics, business, economics, anything that's on my mind, and I'll catch you in the next one.